After you have cleansed the skin, you will have to dry the skin surface. You will use a simple Kleenex napkin, paper napkin, and you will tap dry the skin. You will not rub it, but you will just put the napkin on the surface of the skin and gently tap and apply some pressure. Instead of paper napkins, you can also use cotton towels. The marking. After you have cleansed the skin, you will disinfect its surface. The disinfection product can be spray or gel. It should be suitable for the skin. We will have a cotton pad moistened in the product and gently rub all the skin surface. After you have disinfected the skin surface, you can start the marking. The marking is done with a simple skin pencil. Here we will have just a white skin pencil, specially used for the skin. You can sharpen it before, and you can use any other skin pencil, any other color, and we will divide the areas of injections. This step is not completely necessary. You can also randomly inject the points on the skin. However, such marking will help you to equally distribute the injection points. You will have some squares, approximately 2 on 2 centimeters. You will mark the whole forehead. Then you will be marking the cheek area in the same size of the squares. And as I have mentioned before, this marking is for your own reference only. Like this, you can distribute the product evenly and plan on the quantity of the product you will need to use. Let's say if you will inject 0.1 milliliter of the product per injection, you can simply count how many squares there are and how many milliliters or what quantity of the product you will need to use. So here I have finished the chin area, around the lips, and I am working on the other cheek. Basically, you will cover all the areas, under eyes as well, cheeks, chin, around the lips too. The injections will be made in the middle of each square. We will start with the forehead. Here you can see how the machine is prepared. It's ready to inject. As you can see, I have put the dose on the number 4, which is the minimum, and we will be pushing 2 buttons. The capsule is filled with the serum. Now the forehead doesn't have much fat, so here we don't have many options of how to inject the product. We will simply put the capsule flat on the surface. So the machine makes a noise. You can tell your client in advance that there will be a loud noise. It doesn't hurt, but it's just the noise which scares the client the first time she hears it, as it's kind of a shooting sound. In the video, you can see that each injection is made in the middle of the square. So the capsule surface where the hole is must be flat to the surface of the skin. There must be no gaps between that connection. Here I have prepared the machine. So after each injection, you will have to restart it, kind of put it in the starting position, and you push the safety button and the injection button follows. In each square, we do one injection. Your squares can be bigger or smaller. It's not the same as with real injections. Let's see, like Botox, where the affected zone is 1 centimeter around the injection. Here, the injections are very small, so the more you do, the more surface will be affected, and those squares which you marked, they don't have to be very big. They can be as small as you wish. The injection can be even one near each other. It will not make any harm. However, you will have to use more product. That you have to take into consideration. There is a little loss of product as well after each injection. So I'm restarting the machine. I'm turning it to the starting position, and then I'm turning it back in order to adjust the injection dose, the quantity. After each injection, you will have a little bit of surplus of the serum on top of the capsule. The surface between skin and the capsule must be dry, so you will have to dry the capsule head, the capsule top each time, so that when you place the machine on the surface of the skin, there is no liquid between the skin and the capsule. So you place the machine on the surface of the skin. You make sure there are no gaps between the skin and the capsule. You push the buttons to make the injection, to release the serum, and then you wait a little bit until the skin really absorbs the serum. You can do a little wiggle movement so that it's really in. During the injection itself, with your other hand, with the fingers more specifically of your other hand, you stabilize the skin. You kind of put the fingers around the zone you will be injecting. Here I zoomed in order to show the little blood dots which appear on the surface of the skin after each injection. This indicates that the product went deeper through the epidermis into the dermis, because the blood vessels are in the second layer of the skin, in the dermis. So the blood dot indicates that the implantation of the product is on the good level. It also means that you placed the machine correctly on the surface of the skin, and therefore the product was able to be injected properly. Normally, this treatment, as I have mentioned before, is pain-free. It's painless. There is no pain involved. However, it can depend on which serum you are using. Serums can be of different purposes. One might be hydrating, the other might have brightening properties, and therefore the ingredients will differ in each type of serum. So, if the serum contains vitamin C, your client might feel a little burn on the surface of her skin because the vitamin C is like acidic. So that's one situation where the pain might be involved. Otherwise, The basic serums contain hyaluronic acid, which doesn't create any discomfort to your client. And again, I am showing you how to perform the injections. I am turning the machine into the starting position, turning it back to adjust the dose. Here I have always the minimum dose. I'm drying off the surface, the top of the capsule, stabilizing the surface of the skin with the other hand, placing the machine on the skin and shooting. And after the shot, you can simply wait a couple of seconds until the product kind of stabilizes and enters the skin properly, or just make a quick wiggle movement. Now notice how I will place the top of the capsule on the skin. I'm kind of placing it on the side of the capsule surface, on the side, and then I'm rolling it in order to put the machine 90 degrees to the skin. I'm kind of rolling it from the side to the middle, from the side to the middle. Just notice it again. From the side to the middle. Like this, I make sure that the attachment of the capsule top surface and the skin surface has no gaps. So here we have finished injecting the zone of the forehead. You will want to disinfect the surface of the skin and to remove all the markings. You can use the same spray skin disinfection product and a cotton pad, and you can rub it until all the markings are gone. Like this, you also make sure that the injection points are disinfected. A bit of swelling and little red dots are normal. It will also often depend on the product you are using. It can depend on your client's sensitivity to the different ingredients.